Does this sound familiar? Your application is slow because SQL Server is slow to respond to your database queries. You look at the queries. You apply some tricks that you have picked up before. You create some indexes because you've heard that they help performance. And if all else fails, you ask Google or Copilot. Eventually you get it done. You always do. But you hate that it always feels like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. You wish for a better understanding of why a query is slow so that you know how to fix it. What you need is the execution plan. The execution plan is SQL Server's way of telling you how it executes your queries. But not only that, the execution plan also tells you why SQL Server decided to execute the query that way, and how those choices turned out in practice. So in short, the execution plan tells you exactly why that query runs slow. And once you know the root cause, fixing the problem is so much easier. June 24 in Seattle, Washington, you can attend a full-day training class about execution plans, given by Hugo Kornelis, a Dutch SQL Server expert who has over 20 years of SQL Server experience with a strong focus on execution plans and query performance. The day starts with the basics. What is the execution plan? How do you find it and how do you read it? After that, I'll focus on the core element of the execution plan, the operators. I'll cover all the important ones, describing their role within the execution plan, how they operate and interact with other operators, and their important properties. For more complex operators, I use a variety of tools to explain their operation, such as flowcharts of their operation and animated PowerPoint slides to illustrate step by step how they process a small set of sample data. I will also call out what properties you should look at and what other specific things you need to be aware of. There will of course also be lots of demos throughout the day. These demos start simple, but as your knowledge grows, we'll move towards demos with more complex execution plans and discuss the intricacies of their interactions. Please note that this training class is not a bag of tricks that you can use immediately if your problem queries happen to match one of the covered patterns. My training class gives you knowledge that you can then learn to apply to all problem queries. But it will be up to you to actually do this applying and to get more experience. The training class is a foundation that you can build upon for the rest of your career. This pre-con is part of DATACON, which is co-hosted with TechCon 365 and PowerCon. So come to Seattle from June 23 to June 27 for a full week of intense learning. And when you do, reserve the Tuesday for my pre-con, Execution Plans Explained. If you take SQL Server query performance tuning serious, then you simply cannot afford to miss my training class. Execution Plans Explained on June 24 in Seattle, Washington. See you there.